Good morning, friends. Myself, Professor Tarekar, SA from NMEP KBT College of Engineering, Nasik. Today, we are going to discuss the important topic is called as the SET, Secure Electronic Transaction. As more and more companies are opting internet as a medium for electronic commerce, trust and security requirements are increasing. Therefore, the important security requirements for successful e-commerce transactions are privacy, that is called as the confidentiality. So information shared among the communicating parties must be known only to them. All others must be kept out of the loop. Another security requirement is authentication. So both the communicating parties must be in a position to establish and prove their identity. Integrity. This is another security requirements. The message that is transmitted by the sender should not be tampered. If tampered, the receiver must be in a position to identify the same and discard the message. And the last one is non-repudiation. So both the communicating parties must have the facility to legally prove that messages have been sent and the received. Now, in the set secure electronic transaction, so it is used for securing credit card payments on the internet. So merchant does not get to know the credit card details of the card holders. So it required the software setup on the client as well as server. So what are the different business requirements in SET? So there are four requirements which are mentioned here. The first one, provide security, authenticity, privacy, integrity and trust with regard to the payment and ordering information. Second, provide authentication that a card holder is a legitimate user of a credit card account. The third one is provide authentication that a merchant can accept credit card transactions. And fourth one, to formulate a protocol that facilitates and encourages interoperability among softwares and network providers and which does not depend on the transport security mechanism. Now there are different participants which are involved in the SET systems. So what are the different participants in the SET systems? So which are cardholder, merchant, issuer, acquirer payment gateway, certifying authority. So we'll discuss here one by one in detail. It means that the role and the responsibility of each and every participant. The first one, card holder. It refers to the person who holds the card and who makes the purchases on the internet. Who is the merchant? A merchant is a person or organization that has goods or services to sell to the cardholder. Issuer refers to the financial institutions that provide the cardholders with the credit cards and responsible for the payment. Acquirer, it refers to the organization that provide verbal or telephonic card authorization for merchants, and merchants pay a small fees to the acquirer for their services. Another participant is here, acquirer payment gateway. It acts as an interface between SET and the computer networks of the banks. To put it simpler terms, the acquirer payment gateways act as a proxy for the bank's network functions. And the last participant is here, certifying authority. It is very important. It refers to the organization that provides public key certification. One of the best known certifying authority is VeriSign, which offers several classes of certificates. Class 1 certificate is of the lowest level, which binds email address and associated public keys. And class 4 certificates are the highest level certificates that applies to server and their organization. Now, how the SET works? Preliminary steps in the set, which is both card holders and merchants must register with the certification authority. This is the very important step. And then actual steps which are involved in this set. Step 1, customer browses website of the merchant, decides what to do purchase and adds them to the shopping cart. Step number 2, customer then communicates with the merchant and payment gateway in a single message, and the message has two parts. The part A, purchase order for use by the merchant, and part B, card information for use by the merchant's bank. Step number 3, merchant forwards the card information, that is part B, to their bank. Step number 4, merchant's bank contacts the issuer and checks with the issuer for payment authorization. Step number 5, issuer authorizes the purchase and sends authorization to merchant's bank. Step number 6, merchant's bank sends a copy of authorization to merchant. Step number 7, merchant completes the order and sends the confirmation to the customer. Step number 8, merchant capture the transaction from their bank. And last step, step number 9, issuer that print the credit card invoice to the customer. So total 9 steps which are involved in the working of the sets. It is shown in the diagram. So you can see here in this diagram, so merchant and the card holders, these are the two main participants, in which card holder that send the purchase request to the merchant will respond to the card holder, merchant responds to the card holder. So both the merchants and card holders that send the request to the certification authority to verify the certificates, merchant certificates and card holder certificates respectively. Then merchant send the authorization request to the payment gateway. Payment gateway then send the response to the as authorization response to the merchant. Then merchant verifies the card holder certificates. Then card holder is also sent the certificates to the certification authority group to verify their certificates. So this is the process. So in this way the certification and the authorization will be verified by the certification authority and the payment gateway respectively. Set encryption and decryption process. Now this is very important, encryption process in a set. For both encryption and decryption process in a set, the algorithms used, which are RSA algorithm, which is of 1024 bit for asymmetric encryption and the decryption process. Then 56-bit DS algorithm is used for symmetric encryption as well as decryption process, and SHA-1, that is hash algorithm, that is used for computing the message digest. So we can see the set encryption and decryption process here. So what actually happened at the center side, that is what the encryption process, and decryption process is at the receiver side. So see the diagram, and accordingly we can see step by step. Step number 1, we can see here the sender is subject the message through hash algorithm, and set uses secure hash algorithm SHA-1 for this, and the output of this hash algorithm is nothing but the message digest. In the next step, sender then encrypts the message digest using the RSA private key, and the output of this step is nothing but the digital signature. Then sender then creates a key for the symmetric encryption. Sender then takes the message, digital signatures, and then it send his digital certificates and encrypts all of them using the symmetric key encryption method of data encryption standard, that is DS algorithm. Then sender then picks the public key of the recipient and encrypt that symmetric key, that is nothing but the digital envelope, right? Then it sent that digital envelope and the encrypted message to the receiver. Now what the steps which are taken at the receiver side? So that is nothing but the decryption process in this set. So we can see here the receiver decrypt the digital envelope using the RSA algorithms, RSA's private key to obtain the DS symmetric key. Once it get the DS symmetric key, in the next step, using that DS symmetric key, the receiver decrypt the encrypted message to obtain the plain text message, then digital signatures and digital certificate of the sender. Then receiver then extract the RSA public key of the sender from the digital certificate. Using the RSA public key of the sender, the encrypted message digest obtain, then which is decrypted to get the message digest. And finally receiver then subject the message again through the hash function SHA1 and message digest is thus obtained. And this computed message digest is then compared with the message digest which is obtained, already obtained, and if both of them are the same then it can accept, that is authenticity of the sender is guaranteed. So this is the process of encryption and the decryption in the set. Now how the dual signatures are created? So there are some the terms which are used here, payment information PI, then payment information message digest PIMD, order information OI, order information message digest OIMD, and payment order message digest POMD. So how this the dual signatures are created? So we can see here the steps of creating the dual signatures. So before that, what is the dual signature? Okay, before creating that dual signature, we'll see here. So as mentioned earlier in the set, the customer communicates with the merchants and the payment gateway through a single message, and the message has two parts: a purchase order part for use by the merchants and card information part for use by the merchant's bank. So the customer has to ensure that the merchant shall not view see the payment information, payment instructions, and the acquirer shall not view the order instruction. So it is also necessary to link the order and payment so that the customer can prove that the payment is for the particular order, not for the other orders. So it can be achieved by new concept, that is nothing but the dual signature. So what are the steps which are involved in the dual signatures creation? So step 1 is that customer takes the payment information, that is PI data, and subjects the same through the hash function SHA1, and he gets the payment information message digest, that is the PIMD. So we can see here the PI that is to be hash and get the PIMD. Then in the another step, customer takes the order information data and subjects the same through the hash function SHA1, and he gets order information message digest, that is what OI to be hash, and get the OIMD, and both PIMD and OIMD are concatenated. Then in the next step, the concatenated output is again subjected through the hash function SHA1, it is to be hash, and the output is called as the payment order message digest, that is POMD. Now POMD is encrypted using RSA's private key of the customer, and the result is the dual signature. So in this way the dual signature is created. There are some limitations of this set. Despite being very secure, set has not been a success in e-commerce environments, and the reasons attributed are: the first one, the overheads associated with this set are heavy. For a simple purchase transaction, 4 messages are exchanged between the merchants and the customer. Then second one, two messages are exchanged between the merchant and the payment gateway. Step number 3, 6 digital signatures are computed. Then next, there are 9 RSA encryption and decryption cycles. Then there are 4 DS encryption and decryption cycles and 4 certificate verifications. Okay, so many the activities or many the transactions which are involved here. The second thing is that it has been argued by merchants that they have to expend lot of money in order to process said transactions. So from consumers point of view, they have to install appropriate software. The third step is that interoperability problem has not been solved. Fourth one, with SET, while the payment information is secure, order information is not secure. Thank you. The slide contains which are referred from the book Cryptography and Network Security written by Atul Kahate, and another book Cryptography and Network Security written by the Behrooz Frozen.